Siyabonga.
I'm going to my television. 4:15.
I am the incoming SRC president, but because with us in the house, there is current leadership of Vet University. We have the Secretary General of Vet University, Noluvo, and the Deputy Secretary, Comrade Mandisa. And protocol would say that I must allow the current sitting SRC to say a few words, and of course I'll come after it. Or I would want to give a few minutes to the Secretary General of the University, that is Noluvo, as the sitting SRC. Then Nami
University. Ngiyazi ukuthi kubazali kubuhlungu ukuthi ningcwabe umntwana wenu. Kodwa sithi kuduza kwehlanga lungehlanga. Okunzima kakhulu nokubuhlungu kakhulu ukuthi anishile lapho sekumele ukuthi kube nguye oninakekelayo. Kodwa sekuyini eniyomngcwaba. Njengoba umama beseshilo ukuthi meningcwaba thina nina niyongcwatshwa ngobani. Ngithanda ukunamukela ngendlela yakho, ngendlela uNkulunkulu ukuthi azabe nathi. Cela ukuthi umndeni uqine. Akukho esiningi esinganika kona, kodwa sithi dudu. Cela ukuthi niqine. Okunehlele kungehlela noma ubani. Cela ukuthi bese kuthi sonke sithandazise abantu esiphila nabo, sithandazise sinakekelane. Lento esifundisa ukuthi sinakekelane ngoba awazi umzuzu nesikhathi umuntu azokushiya ngalo. Ngakho-ke kumele sikhombisane uthando ngekhathi nemizuzu. Ngiyabonga.
Bonge kakhulu ku-Secretary General wase-Vet University. Ngibona uComrade Motha lapha emuva. Khona iculo lapha elithi To Die No More. Besicela uMotha asibusise ngale ngoma before siqala. I'm going to die.
What ada mana memorial service aku?
Siyabonga kakhulu because Comrade Mota is a graduate, is a specialist, but yazi ukuthi umuntu wesonto, and uyakhona ukugoma, and le ngoma iculile ethi I'm going home, angisayi kufa. Namhlanje mabethi bele ngikhulume lana ngeke ngabuya ngacabanga mana ukuthi this will be probably the third funeral of a friend engiyobe ngikhuluma kuyona, and it so happens that all of them are all law students, bonke ngama law students. I remember we're here for this Amanda. I was standing right here, and then we're here for Sabelo Ngubeni. I was standing here, and then in Namhlanje Silana Food, I'm standing here, and with the funeral yoqala sis Amanda, I think Noluva was sitting at the back, and then Nalega Ngubeni, she was sitting right here with some of the friends, and then Namhlanje Silana is over the Cyan. So it doesn't make sense to some of us because bonke labantu, they are our friends. Noluvo ube umngani. So ngenkathi ngithi I'm running for SRC elections, he called me to say, why now? Because I've been in the university for a long time. So just ask me, why now? You are the chairperson of SASCO, you are the chairperson of QA, you still want to run. And then she said, at least give me a reason. Then I said, I feel like I haven't fulfilled my mission, the sole purpose as to why I came to bed. And then what I say, perhaps you can still play a role as long as you have a reason as to why you are running, but we'll support you. And then on the 24th of last month, we were in a car crash with my friends, Lady Smith. Then obviously as abantu becheck, she calls to say, "Aibo, ngizwa bethi niwile ngemoto ini right, ayingasho noma na siyaphila, no one is injured. Like I know Pepisan man, yonke into be right." So I never even thought that we would even be here. I never thought that I would be here. And I can't imagine ukuthi kuma parents lento injani, to the cousins, sisters, brothers. I can't even imagine if we as friends we're feeling such pain. And kunomehluko, kunokufeel pain, and then kunokuthuka. And mina lento kanje yangithusa because all these people are my friends and they are young and there's so much great potential. Noluvo had so much great potential. And live it's obey law student, comrade. And obviously, I never understood why she never contested. She was always within the space, advising her, but she never contested the space. I think some people are born to guide and to shape and make leaders. And some of us are called presidents today because of the advice she gave. Ngifuna ukuthi umndeni phephisane, and then bangani bakhe. I don't even know where to start. I have no words. Kodwa ngiyacela ukuthi ngokuya kwesikhathi simvumele aphumule. Noluvo lived a life. Uphilile. I think we all need to acknowledge that tomorrow is not promised. So let's all live our lives to the fullest. All live lives that we'll be proud of. I'm proud of life that Noluvo lived. And umndeni phephisane, Vetsy, on behalf of the Vets PYA, on behalf of Vets Sasco, silahlekelwe, yakhala, ubazali, bonge, ukusinikeza uNoluvo, noma engaphilanga isikhathi eside, kodwa isikhathi esiphile naso naye esiside kakhulu. Anginawo amaningi because I'm still trying to understand everything, because kuney'ngozi eziningi eziyenzakala, so they are scaring me. I'm starting to think maybe there is a witch hunt or something, but maybe it's paranoia. So ngizoma lapho, ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Noluvo is right. These are things that we never expected to happen, and we never thought we'd ever be here. But I also think this is a unique opportunity
very much. I don't know if this thing is working, but I think I have a big voice. It's big enough. Thank you very much, Mboli. My name is Mcebo Freedom. I can see a lot of people have been speaking Fenek. Inginga ngikhuluma Swati. Leswati lengisikhulumako ngelesidulile. Ngathola ukuthi nalaba labakhuluma Swati ngeke bangive mase ngikhuluma Swati. Ngaleyo ndlela ngidawuchubeka ngikhulume lesingisi. Bona sitokhona ukuthi sivisisane. Ngoma siSwati siyafana nesizulu. Lesizulu saseSoweto akusiso lesasemsinga. Lesiswati lengisikhuluma ngilesakaloBamba. Ngilonqo. I'm asthmatic. If it happens that I block as I speak, because when I am shocked, I block. And I had asked that I'm not given platform of such events because I really struggle in such instances. Agombika, 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 wokuzayo, ulawa manzi, agombika, agate. Agombe, 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 ulama, agombe, 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 sayo, ulama, agombe. Thank you very much. Siyabonga. Bengisakunika manje. Just get encouraged. The person we are here because was a giant. You know, Noluvo was or is a true resemblance of what resilience is and not giving up. No matter how tired we are, no matter how bruised we are, even if we have sores on our feet, we still run because we want to reach the end. We said we are not going to live here without those degrees. And we didn't. We left with them. And we are now dying with them, having not utilized them. So we suffered for what? That's when I begin to question God. It is in instances like this when I begin to question God. We suffer for a better life. She never tested the better life. She had just told me, I got a new job. I said, number one. And she didn't start that job. Now, that's the most painful thing. That's the most painful thing. That's what makes it to be difficult to accept. Because you need people like Noluvo to be alive for the longest of time, so that they can encourage young people when they are about to give up. To say, why are you giving up? Because we've been through the most. What you think is difficult is nothing to what I have experienced. Then they become inspirators. They inspire, they motivate. Her life should have been a motivation and an inspiration. The law school should be calling her to tell these ones who commit suicide in first year to say, you are playing. Now, she's gone. We are left with memories. I have a lot of memories with her. She's one person who will always call me to order, to say, you are not a celebrity to me. You are not a president, you see. And she will tell me the things that no one else can tell me. And sometimes I'll be angry and say, look at you, you are angry. You see, you can't take criticism. Then I come back. And it's people who sharpen us. And it's people who make us to be better. She had her own flaws like everyone else. She was not all Snow White. She was a young person. Vision, the eye. Talking about Noluvo, you will never finish. She was a unifier. We would have differences in the law school. She will always be there because she spoke to everyone. We'll find that I no longer talk to this one, but Noluvo speaks to that one. Then we'll bring you together. We end up talking again. So it's a gift. Some people have a gift, like Mama was saying, unespio umuntu amadlozi. Noluvo had a magnet. Abenespio is just the magnet of bringing people together. Wherever she is, there will be people. She was never alone. So that's a gift. Uma sithi kunobizo, asisho thambani nothwasa. uba nobizo la ukhona khona, and you nurture it and you become the best of the best where you are. It's unfortunate that she is gone. Our parents were not there, we can't not be there. We have no reason not to be there. They will tell you they were in exile, they were in the mines. We are all working in the offices here. What is your excuse of not being there? Yenze malendlela yename yahlaba sizithanda. Yenze malendlela yename yahlaba sizithanda. Ukuthanda sikuthanda. Ukuthanda sikuthanda. Ukuthanda sikuthanda. Enze malendlela yenameva yahlaba ukuthanda. Enze malendlela yenameva yahlaba.
Ntebo's right in that you became Noluvo's person when you were in anything with her, when you were in the space with her, when you were anywhere with her. That's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my advocate. You were never just a person around Noluvo, you were Noluvo's. And you were there, you were together. You never were alone when she was around. Even in your thoughts, in her thoughts, she counted you in anything. You became Oga Noluvo. Hi, that's my little cousin. Hi, Galuxi cousins, Tina Sonk. And that's really something. And so when we're doing this program, there was one person, there's Advocate Moela, but then there's Advocate Neo Masako. And you know, when I sent the email asking him to speak, I was like, hi, wherever Noluvo is, she's proud that I sent this email. And then when I got the acceptance that he will speak, I was like, I'm fine. Wherever she is, happy. And that's because Advocate Neo became Noluvo's person. The same way we all did in that law clinic, or everyone at law clinic on the particular day became Noluvo's person. If it was not for the fashion show with Nolwazi, Nolwandle, Notepo, you all were there having, and Advocate Neo, we couldn't do this without having your word. So please come join us and share your experience.
Program director, everyone who is gathered here. I'm not particularly singing that song because Miela is following me. But even if you interpret it in that way, it's not a problem because I've inherited all of them. Whether good or bad, they have always been mine, and I've always not denounced or even in secret said that they are not mine, because I have been there with them at least and witnessed the journey that they have been taking. Even when probably in class they couldn't define or explain the Plascon-Evans rule. I did not say that they were not mine. And that is also the case of individuals who are in this legal profession, because the responsibility, the duties, and the task involved, or that we shoulder, is always on the spotlight. That is so because this profession, or what we do, is very important and is an instrument toward ensuring that the lives of people are changed. But surprisingly though, in one of his books, it is Henry VI, there is a character there, they call him Dick the Butcher. In one of the lines he said, the first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers. This was because lawyers, in some instances, despite the position that they hold, have been seen as the hindrance or the protector of those who lead the task of decay of the community. However, though, having said that, we have to distinguish as to what type of a lawyer was Noluvo was. Was she the one that was defined by the butcher that must be subjected to death, or the one that was progressive and was at the forefront of changing the lives of the people? But before responding to that proposition, it's best then to paint a picture of who Noluvo was, both in her personal capacity as well in her professional capacity. You can't sugarcoat it. She was a lively person. You would know that she's around. She was very loud. And she lived her life to the fullest. Even when she attended to the law clinic on Wednesdays, she was the person that woke up with the purpose. The makeup was on. The dress code was also on. It was the portrayal of a person who was looking forward towards changing the lives of the individuals. But there was a task intertwined with how she was, because there is a method that we use to train these young lawyers. The first principle was to make them alive to the situation or to the clients that they were servicing. Because we always impress upon them that at the law clinic, you are servicing those who are at the bottom of the barrel, those who can afford legal assistance. And having them coming to you does not mean that you must give a second-hand service. There we will definitely fight. And most of them here, I fought with them because I wanted them to give the best that they must give to those particular individuals. And Noluvo did not surrender that mission, did not surrender that particular task. She too came to the party and ensured that she did what was best at that particular time for her clients. And that's one of the things that probably, despite her lively personality, that distinguished her. There were even times to which there were matters that I personally dealt with or handled for her, because Noluva was a person of many things. She was into business, she was selling clothes, she was doing what, and all these people will frustrate her. And she will come to me expressive and with that zest and oomph. And you could see everything in a facial expression, but I would say, but hang on, Nolu. You can't act as if you do not have a lawyer now. Relax. I'm here, we can resolve this particular thing. And we definitely did that. That was the character of Noluva, a person who was willing and always available to take advice and to listen and execute the instruction to the team. And we all have lost. Like the incoming president have said, I'm also in the point whereby I'm getting tired of coming and speaking like this about my students. Because it's not my vision to be speaking like this. At least if there is anyone to be speaking like this, it must be them, not me. And I've attended so many occasions of this nature where they have perished. But being that as it may, life still needs to continue. Colleagues, friends, family, you still have to continue with life. And to the family, they normally say that time heals the wounds, but I know that it's not true. Time does not heal the wounds. At least what I pray for is that with the passage of time and through the grace of God, may the edges of your wound be blunted, because it's never easy to lose your child. At this particular moment, program director, you saw a person that was landeling me. He just wanted to say a few words. May we just indulge him in doing that. Thank you.
Izole too. Africa. If I was in court, I would say, is it please the court? And you would have introduced me properly that this is my junior is going to address this point. But we never planned that. So I was standing up because Mbuli portrayed a certain picture about me. She said I invited Noluva in the office. And that is not the case. You know, sometimes we connect with people that are genuine and people who are not faking. And I easily connect with such. I met Noluva first year, Christmas Fall, coming from the Western Cape, but I didn't know her from there. Then didn't like really click because I didn't know her intention and stuff. But throughout the LLB degree, we met in the library. She would see me sleeping in the library, and she'd be asking me, "Don't you have a place to sleep?" I told her that I do. It's Soweto, but it's so much inconvenience to be traveling, so it's fine. I'd be here overnight, study, and I'll go in the morning. And at some time, she's like, "No, don't worry, you can come and take shower at my place." At the time, she was staying next to Samro, and then she'll give me the keys. Just go and take a shower. You don't have to go to Soweto and come back. Let's push, And eventually, I moved closer to Bram. But because of that culture of studying overnight in the library, I continued, even though I stayed in Bram. And at that time, she was staying in Randburg. And she also abandoned that, and she moved into the office. I did not invite her. And she said to me, "You know what?" Because I then became ahead of her in terms of years. So when I was doing my final year, she was doing a penultimate year, is 1 year before. Yeah. Then she said to me, "I'm struggling with this LLB. And I can see that you are cruising." Then I'm like, "Yeah, that's correct. I can't dispute that." Then she said to me, "I'm going to sleep in this office. I'm going to finish this LLB." And she had to take like 15 courses. You're allowed to only take maximum of, it's 10 plus 3. 10 plus 2, 10 plus 3. But you can't go beyond that. And she said, "You know what? You're going to assist me, write motivations, and so that they give me these 15 courses. I want to leave this, and I'm going to be here. I've seen you working hard, Lena. I don't think that if I follow this route, I'll fail. I'll struggle to finish this LLB. I don't want good marks. I want LLB." And that's how we travel the journey. And even post that, I then completed, and she was doing those 15 courses. And then I was doing a training to be admitted as an advocate, but would still be there. And sometimes she would really force me to read the assignment. If they can go to the assignment. And we assisted each other such, and at times, for convenience purposes, we were also joined by other people, and she would come with cooked food. She'd be complaining, "But you can't just be eating takeaway, it's not healthy," and stuff like that. So she'd cook a lot and bring us food so that we save time in terms of going for food and at least eating healthy. So, and the last voice message, that she should send lengthy voice notes. And I would tell her that, and then it would go 5 days without a response. And she would say that, "Are we no longer friends now? You don't respond to my text, or to my messages." I told her that if you really want me to engage in this voice note of 5 minutes, at least type it. It will then show the effort, because I'm also working. So if I'm going to be listening to voice notes, everyone send me 10-minute voice notes, I'm not going to be able to work, because I'm going to receive calls, I'm going to receive voice notes. So if you type a lengthy text, I can rest assure you, I will respond to that. And the last one, she had to call me, and because it was urgent. She was asking that I share her number. I should pass Neo's number, because she needed some motivational letter, and that was the last engagement. Unfortunately, up until she passed on. So that is the life I lived with Noluvo.
thank you to the advocates of the High Court. I can see Noluvo now. Hi, 2 advocates from the High Court coming to tell everyone she's a massive deal. She's it. So thank you, Lerato, for correcting me. She moved into this office. All I know is one day I found advocate papers and I found 2 people in that office. In my head, Lerato, but now we know. And that office was not only just Lerato, there was many of us. So in the Law Students Council, there's 11 of us. And now then, because Noluvo was now living in the office with Lerato, but they don't need to be living in the office, but they're there and they're always there at 1 a.m. Other Law Student Council members start to get to know people and get to see people. And these are people that you were in the degree with. And that's how many of our relationships started with Noluvo. My relationship started with Noluvo. And this LLB is not something you get through alone, right? And I think no degree, especially at Wits, as Mdebo illustrated, you get through alone. And I think Noluvo's friends are something that depict that also clearly. From her humanities degree, which is the yellow band, to her LLB, which is the pink band, she had people around her. And I think it's important, we must hear from those people who are around her, who are in the office when we were hearing these news or when we were walking in. And to do that, I'd like to ask Sepo to come on stage. FNTY is what he became known as in the office and on the WhatsApp groups, FNTY. Actually, there was a time Noluvo didn't run for elections. Elections were run by us. Noluvo wanted to be in the LSC WhatsApp group. She's like, no, me, I manage this thing. I want to. Difake and quick group. Difake. And we were like, no, you can't. But Sepo's name on the WhatsApp group was FNTY. And Patrick Kadima, who was also in the LSC, didn't know what FNTY meant. So it just became an FNTY. So I'd like to ask Sepo to come up. And in these office days, you get to know many, many people and you see people from the days. And one of the people we got to work with very closely was Utina. Now, Utina Maga's word and Xhosa strong, worse than Noluvo. And I think that's where they bonded and became a thing. Now you're seeing Tina and Noluvo always together. And lastly, I will read a message from, there was 3 of us in our heads. I started a WhatsApp group called Khatebe and Hadebe because there was 3 of us who became friends over our clan names and then we became cousins. And she's unfortunately in Durban, Nolwandle Hadebe, whose message I will read after Sepo and Tina come and speak to us.
Ndicela ukubulisa wonke umntu. Beseyitshilo ke umbulo uba ndingumXhosa. Bendizocala lothetha isiXhosa namhlanje. Igama lam ndinguThina Ntywele. Mandiqale ke ngobulela ithuba eli lothetha apha phambi kwenu namhlanje. UNoluvo ebeyitshomi yam. Ndikhumbula ndiqala umbona ngo-2017, but singabizotshomi ke ngelo xesha. Endimbona kwiklasi ye-Bill of Rights ethembisa elinye iNdiya ngolibetha. Ndithi hayibo. Ndithi hayibo, le ntombazana eklasini wonke umntu eyijonge yena. Kodwa ke ndafunda ngalaa mini uba hayi, she's very expressive. And even when we became friends, she was very expressive. So uba uyakuthanda and she cares about you, you will definitely know uba uNoluvo uyakuthanda because she will let it be known. Ukhona ngamaxesha oncedo, ukhona ngamaxesha onke. Ndikhumbula ekuqaleni konyaka ngoFebruwari kuye kwasweleka omnye umfana ebesifunda naye uSabelo, and indim noSabelo were very close. We had dated for a very long time, and yeah, I was very devastated. Ndikhumbula ndingakwazi nothetha, amane endifowunela, she'd check up on me, ndingakwazi nophendula. Athi hayi, it's okay Chomi, ndiyakuva. Ngumntu onjalo ke ebezokwazisa uba uyakuthanda. Ngelaa xesha bendiyiva uba ndiyathandwa nguNoluvo. Andizuba mde, ndithanda uthi umamakhe ndibhale phantsi ke izinto zonxiba bengafuni ulibala, ndincediswe nangutata. Ndithanda uthi kumamakhe uba ebenguyehova ebemdalile esekwanguye nomthabathileyo and kusapho lwakwamabhece akulahlekelwanga nina nodwa nathi silahlekelwe. Ndithi phosana amehlo wenu uThixo inhliziyo zenu uzoziphilisa amanxeba abo bobo. Ndiyabulela.
Dumelang batho ba baholo le metswalle, ke nna Tshepo Kopane. Noluvo ke mo tsebella hona mona sekolong sena Wits. Noluvo, first time I saw her, I thought, yo, this girl is so crazy. And I think, like they said, she was very magnetic. And for me, that's what pulled me towards her. It was captivating. Yo, this girl, she was mind-boggling. So, ka kopana le ena ra bua re tsene re kopane ganyane le nna ke mo tsebella ka hore ena le lerato ba ne se ba dula ka ofising. Empa Noluvo ha ntse ke ithute ena ntse re tlwaelana ka bona hore na hobaneng nna le batho ba bang ne re nana hore wa hlanya. Ne re nana hore wa hlanya hobane Noluvo o ne sena taba le batho. Gona batho ba tla reng ka ena. Ha ona ba tlo etsa ntho tla etsa. Me gona o thabisa kapa ha o thabisi askisi. Empa nna tseba hore o ka se mo kwatele nako e telele. Hobane o ne etsa dintho ka di-intention tse ntle. E ne se motho a tla tsamaya a ntse a qala batho. Ha o nona le bothata ka ena, e ne le bothata bo tswang ho ena. Ena o na e tla o etsa letho. Noluvo ya ba ntse re tlwaelana ntse ke ithute ena ntse re tlwaelana ka ithuta ho hong hore Noluvo ka ntle le ho hlanya ebile mohlomong ke yona ntho etsa hore a hlanye le ho feta hobane o na le free o na phela bophelo ba hae jwalo ka batho bang ba se ba buile. Noluvo o na phela bophelo ba hae mme ha e bona motho a phetseng bophelo ke yena Noluvo. Bophelong ba hae o na sa phele le yena fela o na phelela le batho ba bang. Noluvo was very charitable. Noluvo, even though she was an entrepreneur, she was also ona fana ne se ho fela ena anki ne ona fana ka ntho tse ngata ba bang ba buile hore ona tla ka dijo ona fana ka ntho tse ngata nna ntho amphileng yena ko bala nna ntse ke na sekolo mona jwalo ka se ba buile go thata sekolo mona me sometimes you just go with the flow. I saratla bona pele na go etsala no bara ha re bone pele na go etsala ona tla re ra bala mo ampitse ntho go bala ka library nna ke tseba ke ne ke tsebe le go gona batho go bala ka library. For me to be standing here as a first graduate, I owe it to her. At the time I didn't think I owe it to her. No, we're just going to study in a Noluvo, Charlie, Fifi, and I'm so grateful that she pushed me. She saw something that I didn't even see. Even when I felt like, it doesn't even matter. She was like, no, God has great, grand plans for you, and you have to push because it's not just about you. It's about everyone else that's around you, that's depending on people that are looking at you. Noluvo was loving. That's the Noluvo that I got to know. Of everything, that's the Noluvo that I got to know. That Noluvo was very loving. Noluvo was very kind. And it's because it came from a place of love. However, Noluvo anasagui for now we Noluvo onabua as a time. Unanala my kutla high as a bond. Me ekare reka nka ntho ele mohlala ho re khatsamae bophelong bona Beginning of the year, Noluva and Chele and I were on a call after Sabelo passed away. I think Bachanga to Sabelo because Sabelo in the Motuale Noluva. It was a shock for us that Sabelo passed away. We talked and we were shocked. We didn't know that before the end of that year, we'd be talking about one of us. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen next week. But what I've learned from Noluvo, what I would encourage everyone to do is to live by her philosophy of love and kindness. To Noluva's family, may God heal your broken hearts. Thank you for giving us Noluvo. Noluvo was a blessing in our lives. Noluva touched many lives, as you can see. We must always remember God's promise that this is not the last time, or the last time we saw Noluva was not the last time. God promises us that there will be a resurrection and that one day we will see Noluva. Thank you.
And to read a message from one of Noluvo's other friends, Noluandle, or well, our cousin, eventually as we became all her people. Noluvo had a lot of love to give. She had such a great heart and she always wanted to help. She genuinely could give you the shirt off her back. It was a blessing to have spent so much time with her, to experience our final year at law school together. Every day was actually an adventure. I looked forward to going to law clinic every Wednesday because it was a fashion show. I'd always be excited to find out what Oluhle wore. The labor unit for clinic was the best dressed clinic group of 2019, and we have the photos to prove it. Noluvo was loud and full of life. It's very hard to fathom that we won't be hearing that laugh anymore. Noluvo was a fighter and she was a survivor. I was always in awe of the hardship she had survived and still had love to give and smiles and giggles to share. I always used to fight with her about our oversharing, but now I know why she did it. I know every little detail and it will always stay in my heart. She lived her life fearlessly and she loved having a good time. No shame, my friend lived. She didn't wish herself a good time. We made so many memories. Thank God for Noluvo's love of photos and videos because I can always see and hear her in our pictures and videos. I thank God and our ancestors for letting our paths cross. I was graced with your presence. Your space is felt in my life. I will never forget you and I love you. Till we meet again, Mapungane. For now, sleep peacefully, my love. From Nolwandle Hadebe. Now it's hard to believe. I know I met Noluvo at law school, so I'm a bit shocked. There was a degree before that. There was a time before the LSC office, and I haven't seen Kia in the crowd yet. Okay, and I think it's important for the people to share what was Noluvo when she first got to Wits. Those first years, those many years ago. How was the experience? How was it getting the yellow badge? And to share that, we asked Kia to come join us on stage.
This is really difficult. And Yamakala Liema Dinedi Matla Hubua. And I'm drawing strength. Akitiki Hakaiki that I'm not coming. Earlier I said to Silikira, because I came I I struggle to express myself in general. So this one, it came up to the healing. I'm in shock. There's a lot of confusion. I'm defeated. I met Noluvo in our second year of our undergrad degree at the Pearson Library. There actually was another room, the cubicle of Pearson, that we used to hang out in. And I met Noluvo there. I didn't really know her. In this room, it was a mess. Push assignments as well. Boneo, Matsati, Gugu, Charity, Mumbali, the whole friends that couldn't be here. There was this one time, the day that I met Noluva, I remember it like it was yesterday. And at the time, and a few of my friends knew, I walk into the library and in this cubicle, there was an etiquette to opening the door. Bang the door. You had to be, respectful about it. The day I feel like and then it's smelly in here, who's stuffy, very snobbish. And one of them, I saw him, but I suspect Kimbali. She jokingly said, "Hey, why now with your big nose, your growing nose?" I was pregnant at that time, so that was a very sensitive issue. And I just walked out, we laughed it off. And I worked for the computing. If you know piercings in the computer month. And I worked there. Noluva came and she sat with me and said, "Yeah, we're pushing this politics assignment. Is that what you're doing, Karia?" And we just spoke in general. And then she just went off. She started speaking deep. I just took it in. Maybe this girl needs, I don't know, somebody to just listen to her. And she just went on and on and on. And it was in the same conversation that she shared the passing of her child. Now, I don't think she knew I was pregnant at the time because she wasn't really a close friend. But she could tell what now I'm confused. She's leaving me in this situation. Do I tell her? Because she's sharing so much, but at the same time, I don't owe her anything. I just met this girl and she could read the situation very fast. And so, do you know what you're having? A boy or a girl? And I just looked at her with so much confusion. And before I could even answer, Noluva was so forward, my goodness. She said, I can see your face, you gained weight, a bit ugly, Nyana. So it's a boy. And I was so annoyed, but we laughed it off. That laughter just concluded this heavy conversation that we just had. But at the same time, it was the beginning of this beautiful friendship that we shared. I really struggle, to just make sense of all of this. In the world that we live in today, it's quite rare to find friends like Noluvo that are very genuine. Noluvo was honest. Noluvo was just one of a kind. I generally just have a wall up, but she could just break it down. She was a safe space. She was loving. And we had so much fun. We laughed, we danced, and Shemrele Sebile. I used to gossip. Noluvo and I used to gossip. I don't know what to say. To Mama, Noluvo shared her mom with us. Remember the last conversation we had was a three-way phone call, Mama Hai, and Noluvo was experimenting on her mom. Valley guinea pig, injecting her with these new products that she had. And her mom was just going crazy. And I remember thinking, this is beautiful, because not all of us have such relationships with our parents. Noluvo's mother supported her in whatever crazy thing she was doing in her life. Whatever she did, Noluvo's mom supported her. And Ratamoleboha for that. My friend, it's really painful. And I was saying to somebody earlier today that should there be like a time in like our like a gray area in a death or near death experience, that we are asked whether you want to go back to the life that you're living or continue and just transition into the afterworld. I don't think Noluvo, I think Noluvo would be where she is today because Noluvo did everything in her child's honor, and we all know that. My friend, thank you for the love, thank you for the lessons, and most importantly, thank you for the friendship. I will treasure that forever.
Imagine, Noluvo was even in Venda. She reached Venda. I met Noluvo in 2011. It's so surreal that this was Senate House back then. And this is where we used to have politics. So I knew her before she knew me because Noluvo was that girl in J, just dragging everyone. Whoever dared to speak in the lecture, Noluvo is there. You must be careful. Because if you say something out of turn, especially our brothers of the fairer complexion, our Caucasians, other people, they treaded very carefully when Noluvo was in class because she just wouldn't take things lying down. So I don't know how she noticed me or when she noticed me, but no, she forced me to be her friend. She was like, I see you. You stay at 66. I'm like, yeah, I do. And she's like, yeah, okay, take my number. Back in the days of Mixit. And she made me text her right there and then. And ever since then, we started becoming friends. I was laughing when I heard that she moved into the office. No, Noluvo literally will move into where she wants to go. I was speaking to my cousin yesterday and we were laughing because he was talking about when they went to Durban July in 2019, because listen, Noluvo did everything, Jay. She was just that girl. And then she called me, she's like, Chimi, is your cousin going? Oh, by the way, my name is Chimagazi, sorry. Is your cousin going? I'm like, yes, friend, he's there. You know, you and him, you know, you like things together. He says that she said she was passing the house where they had booked for the weekend. And then our friend just started unpacking her things. And y'all guys, and you know, y'all guys, Dixie. And everybody was a brother. This is my brother. This is my brother. Everybody was Noluvo's person, you know. I had to put my phone on flight mode yesterday because the calls were so overwhelming. She had been to Limpopo too, so all my people know her. She'd gone to a friend of ours' wedding. She like all my Joburg friends, our nail technician who is in Sweden now even sent me a message on Facebook. So friend, you're trending, hashtag trending. See that dress that she's wearing in that picture, right? I remember when I started working and I had to go to a cute event, like, you know, work event. I was like, yo, friend, I have to go to this event and I don't know I'm gonna wear. She's like, Chum, come, don't worry, I got you. You know how she is. So we were there tuning. I have very beautiful pictures in that exact dress that she's wearing in that picture. So, man, this is so heavy. My heart is so sore. Being friends with someone for like 10 years, she was my sister. My parents knew her. Her parents knew me. It's crazy how when I spoke to Mama, she was saying, oh, Lochimi, your friend is gone. You know, she was comforting me. And I was so scared to call her because we all know how Noluvo's mom lived for Noluvo. And Mama, if you're seeing this, I just want to tell you that thank you so much. because for some of us, we haven't experienced a mother's love like that. You know, when you have conservative parents. But you showed us another kind of love that was surreal. It was out of this world. I love how much you supported her. And I just want to tell you that your efforts were not in vain. Mom would come to Joburg and would buy small things and cook. It was always an occasion. Even when Paul passed, I was there. When she found out she was pregnant, it has just been a roller coaster of emotions, and my heart bleeds because I felt that at this moment in time was her prime, and it was time for her to finally get to live her life. And I don't understand, but I think I just have to one day try to accept it. It's very painful for me. I don't know what to say, but I just want to let you know, Noluvo, that you are loved. You were so loved. We loved you. People I don't even talk to anymore called me, guys. Like, it's crazy. Everyone's like, Jimmy, how are you? How are you feeling? I'm just like, guys, I'm fine. Like, I guess, you know, what can I say? But everybody who knew her, who met her once, twice, 3 times, she left an impact. Because Noluva was just a person who just, yeah, she entered, you know? And you know, some people be like, yo, she irritated me that day, but there's something about she's still gonna love her, man. And me and her, we would fight because I'd put her in a place too, because I'd be like, friend, you're wrong. And what I loved about her is that she'd come back and say, yeah, you were right, Jimmy. I was wrong. And own up to her mistakes. And the message she sent me when she got her degree was, it moved me. And I just want to tell her that you also contributed to my life as much as you felt I contributed to yours. And thank you so much for your love, because if anything, you loved us. And if she said, I love you with my whole heart, you'd feel it in your gut that, yeah, no, they love me with my whole heart. So I just want to say, adelani ngamraro mngana wanga une nabahone mudzimu vanitanganedze vadzimu vanhu vanitanganedze. Rest in peace, mngana. Thank you.
This life has been lived, and it's been one that's been lived in many rooms, in many offices, in many library cubicles. And we see that now. We see that from our experiences, and we see that from everyone's stories. But I think one thing we've all come to see and know is that Noluvo came from a home, and she came from a family that she loved deeply. There was not a moment you didn't know that she loved her family. And even the family she didn't necessarily know. So me, for example, so me and Noluvo only came to realize that we're actually cousins, I think much, much later. But the second she realized, I knew we were family, and I knew it was a forever type of thing. But she had a home that loved her deeply, and a home that loves her and continues to love her deeply. And I think as many of her friends, and we want to say thank you for sharing her with us. Usabelo, who has been spoken of quite a bit this year, was a law student who passed away. Me and him once sat outside here and basically said, you know, Mbuli, we come to these universities and our families don't know how hard we struggle in these universities. But a part of me believes Noluvo's family did, just because, one, she never kept quiet. So she definitely told them. But two, because she loved them. She never wanted them not to know where she was. And I think to not hear from the family today would be an injustice, because in every conversation, she mentioned the family. She mentioned you guys. In every moment, in everything she did, I know she was, even with what Oluhlewo was, we'd have conversations about where's this going? And be like, yes, and I say, I don't know really. But right now, I wanted to be able to support my family. I wanted to get to a point where I can support my family with it. So with that being said, I'd like to ask Noluvo Mabece to come join us and just share just a bit before we get evicted, because Wits will evict you from venues, about Noluvo and being family ready.
Ngicala ngokubulisa, okay, elders befamily. Molweni Mahlubi. Molweni Mahlubi. Ladeleke kolutsha nama students and friends lapha ne friends kaNoluva. Mina ndingufezeka Mabece. Ndingudade bawo. As uNoluva would say, athi dabawo, and will demand udabawo wakhe from those who are supposed to be calling her udabawo. She always reminded them that niyandiva ndithi nam udabawo wam ndimthwaqala umlomo. Nam ndiyamcela wam, Iyongama is not here. She always reminded Iyongama. As everyone has said, Noluva was a giver. I remember on our way to Port Alfred, was Pegela. I was Pegela something very, very, very different. Very different. Crab salad. Hey, apha endleleni simane si discuss ukuthi are we really gonna have this crab salad? I did try it and plus it's really nice. So she went on and praised herself to say, ndiyakwazi ukupheka. I'm very close to Tabawo Nozipho. So they had that argument. I'm not sure which one is closer. Is it to Sis Pam or was it Noluvo who were close to Tabawo Nozipho in terms of cooking? I'm not sure. Uzosijajela ke uSis Nozi ngenye imini. Hey, but Linda, investment yakho ikhona into edibanisa nale office. Cela uyilande. Some of your investment mayilande kula office. Hey, guys, these news were shocking, and I don't even have words to describe how I felt. But if phone call mayingena ukubona banalanto yokuthi Sis Pam, okay, why ngangithumela WhatsApp? Should I answer? Why ngangithumela WhatsApp? Which means lento ibalekile. Okay, let me answer. And then she delivers the news. Did you Noluva? There's only one Noluva that I know in my life. But did you just to make sure angazi yini lengifuna ukuyenza sure, because hey, oh God, usishokile. I don't know how we felt. He reminded us ukuthi we have hearts in our bodies, and at times they hurt so much that ukufuna ukuyikhupha uthi hayi cela ukukhupha le nhliziyo yami ndiyibeka apha ecaleni. because it hurt, guys. It like Saturday night. Sunday savuka ke noZizwe noLwande sake sayo azukhale nabantu abazo understand ukuthi kahle kahle ukhalelani ukazu explainer into ezininzi. Also what I wanted to say about Noluvo also, kule business yakhe, she is the only service provider I know who has zero tolerance for rudeness. Agana noma uzo spend 10,000. If you do not greet, you will not be served. Uzane 10 rand, uzane 10,000, uzane 100,000, you greet first. Our veluti malin. Make sure you come correct with your attitude so that you will be assisted by Noluva. So she was unapologetic. She lived boldly. She lived her best life. Devin July, they were trender. She would say, you must know that I'm gonna wear what I wanna wear when I want to wear it. She lived her life. Since we are live on Facebook, video yakhe. Girl who was watching with the pink top, please come through with the video. We would love to have that last memory of her. She was dancing. Wacho Mane City. I want to teach you guys how to dance. So I think we will take dancing lessons from that video. Good girl with the pink top. Thank you very much. Yes.
I feel like I must mention that Hainyan, when you did not greet when you texted Noluvo's company, you had big issues. And that, if we're telling the truth, that company, well, Noluvo made sure we were all involved. I know Advocate Newa was the lawyer for the company. Letters of demand when things weren't being sent were sent from Advocate Newa. When customers weren't behaving, I was told, speak that private school English of yours. Yeah. When any client is not paying or not doing what they meant, no Nolwande, bali text apakau balinto just makathule man long. That was a venture she made. She was very proud of, but a venture she made us all participate in. So I can attest, I took many phone calls from many clients who are upset at, why does this lady want me to greet? No, ma'am, our apologies, but what would you like to order? And I would now get the orders like that. So it's very true. And thank you for everyone for joining us. But I think I'm gonna, actually, let me take it a step back. Endlini, so Kwambuli, where I'm, well, my family, my surname. We once had a family gathering, I think it must have been like 3 years ago. And there's pictures, Yamazu, Instagram, the social media, all these things happen. So we post the pictures as life happens, as it goes. Noluva anfonele, actually, yima man. Linda lo. And I'm like, well, girl, yes, but how do you know? Come to realize we're actually related and we're actually, that's where so we weren't just playing when we decided to do this cousins thing. And with that, I'd like to call Linda to come do a vote of thanks for, just today. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Program director. Am I correct? For the day, I'll say program director. Thank you. Before I commence, kunengoma yasekhaya esesicula. Thank you. Thank you. I have the simplest of all jobs in namhlanje. Probably could take 10 seconds. Kube kuphelile. Nayazi nonke. Mine was just to say thank you. Please allow me to acknowledge one person in particular. Ongutata wethu, the only person omdala esisele ngaye ekhaya. Tamncubushi. Program director, ngawubuya kuwe and say thank you for all the efforts. Bengitshilo kuwe ngathi umuntu xa esebenza kokwabo udla angabulela. Kodwa sizakubulela mntanami, program director. Ayinguwe wedwa, nibaninzi. Lwandi benesandla, Pam benesandla. Siyanibulela Mahlubi. Mumpumelelo, mkhulu umsebenzi owenzileyo. Nani nonke Mahlubi, my wonderful family. Siyifamily enkulu ke thina. Kakhulu. Ndiyanibulela Mahlubi. Ndiqale kakhulu ndibulele kubazali abasizalele lo mntwana esibe naye. Siyababulela kakhulu. Andizuba mteketa mncindi yazi sekulate. Mntana enkosi ubuthe imithetho sayiphula. Kodwa sizoyiphula namhlanje sayithobela. Ikhefu isasekhona isamisiwe. Sizama ukuthi ngibuye nganene kwayo. Abayifunda iBhayibheli. Athi khona ingoma lapha nengoma yakhona ikhona. Uthetha ngoGehazi nomnyuma. Ade sengxakini lo mama etsholo umntwana. Wadibana noGehazi wambuza ukuthi mama konke kulungile na? Waphendula mama athi ewe konke kulungile. Ungabonisi insizi zakho kubanye abantu. Joyi kuba umshumayeli. Anika lo platform namhlanje. Nibabone bebeme up. ndibabiza ke my investments with the hope that one day zizawumature i-investments zabo. Ndivile ke ukuthi where should I get part of my investment in that office? I'm coming. Ndikubonile. Ndibuye kwistaff sase-university, academic staff and non-academic staff. Thank you for ukuthi nikwazi uba noNoluva. Niyamazi nonke. She was a handful. Kube njalo. Akulapho esikoleni kuphela. Nathi ekhayeni sine WhatsApp group yefamily. Akasekho siyathetha. Ubethekisa impahla. Hayi impahla, impahla. Siyayazi sonke musimpahla endithetha ngayo. Ilingerie. Qiqi one morning siyavuka sonke sinotata omkhulu notata omncinci sonke kule. Ayizofoto man. Ngithathe ecaleni ke mna ke we share the birthday mna. Birth date 18 December. Lithi wele yintoni?